everybody, I hope mko poa. Thank you so much for your support, even on my YouTube channel. Asante sana kwa wale mnaendelea kusubscribe hata kucomment. Now, there's a video I did last time. I was hosted by Kamohunji, and now the reason as to why I'm doing this video is because so many people came to my DM, so many people are calling, and they wanted me to address a few issues, or rather to discuss about a few issues. And so I found it good to come clear about many things. And the interest of many, which is why I'm doing this video, is how I was able to overcome, how I was able to just go through the whole season, and basically how God says no and what you're supposed to do about it. So I thought it is good for me to do this video, ndio at least tusaidiane. So welcome to my channel, and I'm going to talk about many things. I'm going to address many things. Now, we did not finish that video, and one thing that I want to make clear is that, to be honest, it was not an easy thing. Time would not allow us to do many things or to talk many things. So this is why I'm doing this. So number one, thank you so much for your encouragement and also your support. Thank you so much for those that are also willing to share their stories. I have people who also shared their stories in my DM. Now, I really hope sometime or someday I'll be able to have a discussion with all of you. So, first of all, it is not easy. I could have made it sound I could have made it sound kidogo easy, but trust me, people, it was not easy for me to receive a no and just adhere to it and just go for it. So to be honest, it's not something that happened overnight. And as I said, healing is very chaotic. It took me time to heal. It took me time to accept the fact that we could not just continue with the marriage. Ilikuwa kitu ngumu sana na ilikuwa test ngumu sana. I don't know whether there's a way of saying it for you to be able to know just how hard it is, but deep within my heart, out of the many tests and the many things that I've been through, I think this was really, really, really the toughest, but I pulled through. And yes, every day is a healing day. And I usually say there is no timeline to healing. Hakuna mtu anaweza kupatia pressure ya kuheal, because healing is gradual. Healing is a process by itself, and you can't say I'm going to take this time and this time. You can't really give yourself timeline as to when you're going to heal. So whatever it is that you're healing from, there is no pressure of healing. You just have to move in your pace. You just have to take a day at a time, but make sure that you're taking the necessary steps so that you're able to heal. If you are working towards your healing, you have got to do what you have to do for you to heal. You have got to make these baby steps. It doesn't matter how small they are, but you have got to be willing and to be very intentional about your healing. And so, yes, it has been a journey. I wouldn't say it is a perfect journey of healing. It is basically just a journey on itself, the journey to healing. So the major issue that I would want to discuss about today is the common mistakes that people make when one is healing from such a heartbreak. I will not base heartbreak with really, really my story, but even though it is your story that maybe you were not able to continue with your relationship because of whatever reason it was, or whether it is like my story, or you people decided to break it off for the reasons that you people know. whatever it was. But generally, the common mistakes that people make during heartbreak, and this is something that I learned also from my story, because a heartbreak is a heartbreak. My heartbreak came from, sasa I couldn't continue with this relationship because God amekuwa na different idea about relationship yangu. It broke my heart. Definitely, to somebody else you had to break it off with somebody because of another reason, but a heartbreak is basically a heartbreak. It tears your heart into pieces when you cannot be able to be with the person you love, or you cannot proceed with the person you love. And so the common mistakes that I realized that people make, and this is something that I have heard from many people. Number one, something is wrong with me. It was my mistake, you know. So I'm talking about the way sometimes we blame ourselves, you know. Let me tell you about a heartbreak. A heartbreak is not as bad as people make it to seem, you know. I know it is a bad feeling. Kuna venye mtu anasikianga vibaya, but there is always this notion or this culture we have created that it is a bad thing, that it is my mistake, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. No, let's just stop the blame game. Let's just stop the blame game, eh? The blame game of the one you do for yourself. You know, you keep saying it was my mistake, something is wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. If it was not going to work out, if it is not working out, it's not going to work out. It never worked out. And it doesn't have to be your mistake. It could be a way of God's protection. You know, it could be a way of God's protection, because as much as I had many failed relationships, the many failed relationships I'm talking about are 3. And I know that there's a way, if I was not careful with myself, I would have thought so. I would have thought, by the way, something wrong with me. But I said, no, I will not go that direction, because sometimes it is a redirection of God. You know, it is protection. And let me tell you something that probably you didn't know. Sometimes when God redirects you, sometimes when you feel disappointed by God, let me tell you the truth, it could be a protection from something. So stop thinking that it is your fault. So let us stop saying, I have a problem with relationships, love is not my thing, what. No, don't curse yourself. Stop blaming yourself. You know, stop blaming yourself. It doesn't have to be you are the problem, you know. It doesn't even have to be it was the other person's problem. It could just be God just becoming God, or you know, just something taking its course na inakosa kukua. So number 1, let's stop blaming ourselves. Number 2, a common mistake that people make is that people stop working on themselves. Unaona, watu wacha kujijenga, unaelewa? Na kwa kujijenga I mean because after a heartbreak there's a disorientation that usually comes. There's a way watu feel they're just too disoriented to do anything. They don't want to add any value to themselves. Wengine hawaonangi raha ya maisha, hawaonangi meaning ya maisha. And one of the major ways to conquer, or one of the major ways to also keep yourself mentally stable and mentally healthy, is to actually do something that is adding value to you. Do something with yourself. That is the appropriate time, you know, when you're back to singlehood, when you're back to, you know, and singlehood doesn't mean you're alone. Singlehood is also wholeness, you know. Do something with yourself, you know. Start creating value, add more value to yourself, you know. Kama kuna kitu unapenda kufanya, ifanye kabisa. Kama uko na hizi gifts na talent, you go for them kabisa. You go deeper. Mahali hauko unafanya vitu ukiwa serious, start becoming serious with your life. This is a perfect time of adding more value to yourself. But a common mistake that people do is people tend to forget who they are. People tend to forget that there is value. You still carry a lot of value. You know, you're still that person. You got it. You know, you can still do it. You know, but most people who are disoriented na life wanaona hakuna haja ya kusonga, unakuwa bitter na maisha, unasema hakuna point anymore. No, that is a common mistake that people make, but this is the best time. It is also good for your mental health. Instead of blaming yourself, and instead of staying bitter with it, afadhali unafanya kitu, to add value to yourself. Number 3, a common mistake that people make is unforgiveness. Depending with how your story is, kama ni msee alikukosea, kama ilikuwa makosa yako, or kama the relationship just took a different turn and suddenly mumeachana, you don't even know the reason why, you might feel somebody needs to take the blame for this, and you may suffer unforgiveness if you're not careful. So take heed that you don't suffer unforgiveness. For example, kama ni mtu alikukosea na ikabidi mumeachana, you cannot harbor that bitterness forever in your life, because now you become a prisoner yourself, whereas the other person has already moved on with their lives. Lakini wewe unakuwa prisoner, wewe mwenyewe ndio umejihost, wewe mwenyewe ndio umejicage, but you need to let go. Kama ni mtu alikukosea, just let it go. You are yet to meet very many people in this life. I know he or she was your one and only. I know he or she meant a lot to you. I know it's hard, I know it's heartbreak is not easy. That I understand. But you cannot, huwezi eka huyo mtu kwa roho maisha yako yote, because utajitesa we mwenyewe, na itafika mahali utataka kumove on na life. Now you will start being bitter with people, and you will make just people around you, you just make people around you uncomfortable because you're bitter about somebody. You struggle even dating because wewe bado unakonga umehaba bitterness. You hear people saying, mi siwezi date tena, mi wanaume mi madem mi siwezi taka tena because of, and no, it doesn't make any sense. Just let it go. That was one person, those were two people, or however many they were, but you're yet to meet very many people. You cannot have a bitterness because you become a prisoner of your own. You also need to forgive yourself. Kama unajua we mwenyewe there were things maybe that contributed to the heartbreak or whatever it is that you people went through, forgive yourself. Give yourself a chance. None is perfect. Forgive yourself and keep loving yourself even more. For me, I struggled very, very much. I won't lie to you. I struggled very much, to just let go and to get to understand why God would allow such a thing to happen to me. Why would God allow, kitu yenye nilikuwa nashinda tu nikiuliza God is, God, why would you allow me to go through this? And the only message that came is because you are capable. You can go through it. There is no temptation that has found you that is not common to man. It is common to man, but God always provides a way out. So ukawa kitu imekupata ni juu pia wewe unaweza. And so I struggled with just being right with God. I really, really wrestled with God. I struggled with God, and I was like, God, hapa nayo umeniwai umeni wound, and you cannot be afraid of speaking to God about these things. Just be open to God. Just speak to God about these things. He understands and he knows you too well. So me, I was very open before God, and I told God, mi nasikia feel I don't feel good, and I really struggled even with my own faith. I struggled with my own faith. I struggled with the truth of the matter. I struggled with many things, but I had to let it go at some point. I could not be angry at God forever. I could not keep complaining, murmuring, and being bitter with God forever. I love God too much, to continue being bitter with him, and so it got to a point that I made peace with God, and I told God, you know what, even though I struggle with you, I'm gonna lose. If I struggle with you, God, I'm gonna lose. So If you struggle with God, if you disobey God, just know you're on the losing side. So I had to make peace with God, and I asked God for more grace, even to proceed with this journey. Number four mistake that people make is that they tend to compress, or rather to suppress their feelings. They are not real with their feelings. And this is how, just to avoid getting to a place where, and as I said, because this is also a journey that you really have to protect your own peace. You have to protect yourself, especially mentally, especially. As much as it's also a heart affair, it's also something that can affect you mentally. It is good to be very open with your feelings. Talk about your feelings. If you have a place where you vent to, if you have a person who you talk to, however you are able to vent, in a healthy way. Don't ever hide your feelings. If this is how you feel, talk it out. Tell it as it is. Tell it as it is. Usihide. If today you're frustrated, talk about your frustrations. If you are, that blessed that you have somebody that you who is taking you through this journey. If you have an opportunity to be with if you have a support system, you have people that you're speaking to, don't ever hide your feelings. If today you feel so frustrated, you feel like you can look for that person, you feel like you can call them, be honest with your feelings. Be honest with your feelings. Say, I feel like I want to look for this person, I feel like I want to talk to this person. And I'm sure you can find a healthier way to overcome, even that urge. I'm sure there could be a discussion, that you people can make, can have. You can say you call this person. How will it be of help to you? Is it healthy to keep seeing this person? Is it healthy to do, this and that? So you have to be honest with your feelings. Yes, you feel that way, but come to a place of being true also to your feelings, and realize that, fine, I feel like I need to call this person. I feel like I need to, let me tell you the truth. I will not sit here and lie to you that I did not feel like calling this person, or I did not feel like looking for them. I won't lie to you that I did not call them. I won't lie to you that I did not look for them. I did, because you know what? I said, I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. I can't just disconnect just like that from somebody who never na si kukosana, tulikuwa tumekosana, we did not have any grudge between us. So I won't lie to you, there were no times, especially when I was struggling with God, I was struggling with my own peace. I won't lie to you, I called him, I looked for him. I couldn't just come into terms. Those things happen. But as time goes by, you come to realize there are healthier ways of dealing with your feelings, but yet you're true to your feelings. There were many times I felt I need to look for him, I need to call him, but at least when I began to take the journey of healing, I realized, Grace, how healthy is it for you to do that? How good is it for you to do that? Is it something that you would want to continue doing? Will it continue becoming healthier for you or unhealthier for you? So when you get to have a place of having such conversations with yourself, your feelings are true. And sometimes you feel, you know what, I'm good, I'm cool, I can stay without calling him. You can stay without calling him or her for 1 day, for 2 days, for 1 week, for 2 weeks. And as time goes by, you realize that the journey of healing sometimes is not perfect, but it is very much possible. So be very, very true to yourself. The other thing, was it number 5? Common mistakes that people make is unhealthy habits. The unhealthy habits of healing from a breakup, especially like this one. And I know this is difficult. I wasn't perfect with it. Of course, as time went by, there was grace also to do it. Is to keep communicating with this person. It is not healthy. It is not healthy because what you do is you slow down the process of healing. The moment you want to bring back what has already been taken away from you, and especially in my situation, let me become a little bit selfish. In my situation, what was already taken away from me, if I whenever I tried to get it back, I realized it was becoming very unhealthy and very toxic for me. I realized we were not really healing, we were interfering with the process of basically healing. So ni ile unajipata unasonga like 5 steps ahead, then unasonga zingine nyuma, so it is very unhealthy because you can find yourself stagnating. You can find yourself in one place because you do not you're not keeping up. You're not able to keep up, even though I understand how tricky and how hard it is. But it is one of the most unhealthiest habits you can have, is you keep communicating, you're texting each other, you're calling each other, you're seeing each other. So by the time you people are leaving each other, you realize it's like nimerudi nyuma. I was realizing nimerudi nyuma a few steps. I felt, I thought I was moving forward, I thought I had healed, only for me to feel, I think I'm not moving. So mnaweza jipata tu place moja, and actually if you're not careful, you can even find yourself dating again. You can find yourself just compromising and just saying, you know what, hii kitu imekata. let's just continue together. But that is one of the major struggles and one of the major unhealthiest habits. If you want to heal from a broken relationship, you have to do what you have to do. However much it hurts, you have to do what you have to do. You need to work on it. You have to be very intentional. As I said, the secret here is becoming intentional. Even when you feel the temptation is too high, the temptation is too much, just try. Today you might fall, but tomorrow you will rise. Amen. The other common mistake that people make is that people move away from God instead of drawing closer. See, in such moments, I came to realize I had heard that so many times, but I didn't know how important it was. Or okay, I knew it was important to draw closer to God even in such moment, but I think I did understand the impact until it found me. Because had I not drawn closer to God, however many times I fell, however many setbacks I had, drawing closer to God was something that really, really helped me big time. It helped the whole of me, it eased a lot of things. Vitu mingi sana zikakuwa rahisi. But most of us are tempted to, I don't care anymore. You become a little bit careless. You become too helpless to even seek God. You feel there is no point. It's the bitterness, especially. Una feel there is no point anymore. But I really found a lot of help in drawing closer to God, because God is able to fill however big or empty the void is or the space is. God is able to fill it. And especially because God will help you overcome the temptation of wanting to go back. God helps you overcome the temptation even of disobedience. The more you seek God, the more the more you are able to say no even to your own weakness. The more you die to self, the more you die to self, the more your physical person is able to surrender, the more you are able to be helped, by God. So it is good for you to keep seeking God, because many weaknesses will die, many temptations will just go. Because the more you draw closer to God, the more the physical stuff that were bothering you, the emotional stuff and everything, God will be able to deal with them. So thank you so much. It's still a journey of healing, and yes, I am well and I have healed in Jesus name. Najua tuliwaacha hanging. I have healed in Jesus name. I believe with all of my heart, but I just wanted to let you know it is a journey, and please don't make those mistakes. Don't make those mistakes, so that this journey is also going to be easy for you. So God bless you so much. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you'll be able to learn something, and I wish you all the best in your journey of healing, and God got you. Thank you.